did get out my box with tumbling tower blocks and I did two tea lights, and of course you can buy this kind of tea lights tea lights also with Dollar Tree, with Action. You can buy them anywhere you like. This one is battery operated and this is on timer. That's always a great thing when you have a candle and a candle holder, so you don't have to think about when to do your candle on. So this is the main parts we need for this DIY. You see already, the blocks are ready. My glue gun is ready again. So we are going to make first the bottom of our candle holder. We are going to make two candle holders, a large one and a medium one. So we are going to, for the base, we are going to do 2 times 3. So 3 blocks together. And of course, like I always say, remove your glue again. Then you don't have to worry about it afterwards. Try to get them as even as you can. This is one. We are going to do another one. And I do this step by step. For everyone who doesn't like it and don't want to see what I'm doing, just skip forward like I always say. But of course, I hope you will and get a little bit inspiration from it. So I'm going to do 2 of 2. So this one again, and I remove the glue, and another one, 2 pieces, because I want to have the bottom a little bit in, not totally in a square, but a little bit longer than a square. And you see here what we're going to do right now. We are going to do this one and we are going to do this one together. So I'm sorry, this is the better way. So I'm going to do this. I'm glued together, so this will be glued together like one bottom. So I'm going to do some glue on top of here, do the 2-piece on top of here, just squeeze it and push it down. Now we have one. Now we are going to do this one, of course, on this one, and squeeze together again, push it down. And now we are going to glue both of the sides together, so we have our own stand for our candle holder already. And I'm pushing it really hard, so get everything together. And you see, this is our first of our base of our candle holder. What we're going to do right now is just make a square with pieces. I'm going to do one side together with you. So we are going to make 4 pieces of 3. And again, this is one and another one. I try to do it as fast as I can. This is one, and of course the other one, and the third one, and this way. And of course later on we are going to paint our candle holders. Of course you also can do it in the wax color, and you can do it in any color you like, which is fitting for your decor. Now we already have block number 3. Only need one for the first layer of our candle holder. We have 4 blocks of 3, and I will do the rest. The height I will do out of camera because that will be really too long for you. So you see, I have 4 pieces, and now I'm going to make a square out of it. So one of our candles, our tea holders, will fit together. Of course, just glue it on top of here and this one, and just get it in a square. Now we are going to do one over here. I show it to you a little better in a moment. Of course, make sure that is really stick together. And now we only have this one, and we are going to glue this one to this side And then we have a wheel square. So you see we have the bottom and we have one of the squares. And you see, and I'm going to make 4 of this one. So I used 12 blocks from one round, and I'm going to make 4 rounds because this is the large candle. So, and then we are going to glue this on top of here, and then we are going to do our vaccine or just tea light we are going to do inside of here. But if you are looking, your tea lights are totally fitting inside of here. So I will do all 4 of them, and then I show you how I build it together. You see already all the parts we need for our candle holder, the bottom, and 4 of our squares. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to glue the first square on top of our frame. You see, just so simple to make. And I hope they turn out so nice, but we will see how this will look. A little bit this way and just squeeze it. And now we already have the first part of our base. Now we're going to do the second part on top of here, and we do it in the same direction. And we are going to do a little, you can also use different glue. I use my glue gun, but of course you can use, a lot of people use the E6000 if I am correct. You can do anything you like. So I am going to do this one on top of here. And I will do enough glue because I don't want my candle holder to break down. And again, another layer. And I try to get it as neat as I can. Of course, we do the last one because this is, of course, our large candle holder. And this way and this way. And the last part we glue together and squeeze it. And now you see, this is our candle holder, the large one. And of course I also made already the smaller one, so we have now 2 candle holders on the same place. And of course I have to do it, keep it this way. Now they are really the same. Here are our tea lights, and now I'm going to paint first my candle holders, and then I'm going to try to get my tea lights on top of here and just make sure that they stay in place. But I'm already very happy with my candle holders, so I found a way that I can do my tea lights inside of here, because if I do it this way it will fall totally down. But of course I did have to find a way, which way can I make sure that my candles are not falling. So what I did, my candle holder is 2 centimeters, this one. Of course I am doing my little measurement inside 2 centimeters, and with a pencil I make a little line. I already think you should see already my line inside, and I also have on the other one, I also have a line. I did with both of them, both have their lines. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take just 1 block, I'm going to do some glue on top of here, and I'm gluing it downstairs until my, I hope you can see it, until the line of the 2 centimeters. And I do it on this side and I do it on this side, and then my candle holder, at least my tea lights, probably, I hope he will fall on top of our little blocks and it doesn't fall down. But we will see if this idea works or not. We will see. So I have my 4 blocks. I am doing some glue on them, and then I'm going to glue it inside, and I will find my line. At least I hope I find it a little bit this way. So you see, now I've already 1 block inside. I only need to do the other side, and you see already both of the candle holders have already their tea lights inside of there, and I am so happy how they turned out. And you see already, I showed you a little bit closer, this is how they are inside. You just need 2 blocks, and you don't, it doesn't matter which way, you only need 2, so they can hang on top of the little blocks inside. So what we're going to do next, we are going to give it the candle holder a color. I am still debating if I do the wax, if I will do the white color, or maybe the black schoolboard paint. So you will see in a moment which color I chose. And yes, I made up my mind. I am going to do my candle holders in the furniture wax, because I have already a lot of white decor, so I am really going for a little bit more rustic. So but before I'm going to do that, I thought maybe it's also nice to do some words on front of here. So I'm going to do some, on this time I will do joy, because I have 3 layers, and on this time, this candle holder I will do a Noel, because these are 4, so I have a little bit more space. So I will do glue them on top of here. You see already my wooden letters I have in the white color. I have them also in the black and in the wood tone. So if you can find them at Dollar Tree or Dollarama or somewhere else, grab them for I hope so cheap as you can, because then you I always do them in a little bag of IKEA, and I always save them for lots of years. So I'll have them always on hand. So I will go to glue this on top of here. I won't bother you with that. So I see you in a moment when we are going to wax it. Our letters are on top of our candle holders. I know you see it in the different way, because my telephone is recording it this way. But in a moment when we reveal it, you will see the right lettering. Of course, what I'm going to do, I'm just taking my furniture wax, and I'm just going to go over my candle holder and give it the rustic look. And of course, like I always say, if you like painting more, just go ahead and just paint it. I will do both of them, and then I show you what we will do the next step. And you see already I have the letters on top of here, and I did with some permanent marker, with my black marker. Of course, you can use any marker you like, and I distress it a little bit, but you don't have to do that. This is just something I like. What I'm going to do right now, because of course you can keep it this way, but I want to give it a little bit more Christmas feeling, but of course not too much, because I love the neutral Christmas. So I take a couple of my branches and I will cut them off, and I will make a nice little round around my candle holder. So I show that to you in a moment. So you see, I did pick 4 pieces of the same branch. So I do, on each side, I do a little piece of this branch. You can choose anything you like. I'm just going to glue a little line around my candle holder, and I'm just laying down my greenery, and just squeeze it a little bit and remove the glue you don't need, because you don't want to see all the glue. And of course, keep it in place for a little while, because even when you do it with your glue gun, it's not always drying immediately. So you see, and just squeeze it. I still see here a little gap. I need to push over, and just work your way, and just do it this way. You see, now you already have 1 branch, and this looks a little bit strange, but believe me, when you have the whole piece, it will look much better. So I will finish this off, and then I show you the end. On my table, our tumbling tower blocks, and we are going to try to get some cute little reindeers. We will see how this will turn out. Our blocks are ready, my glue gun is ready, so we are going to make 2 pieces of 3. So it's very easy. Just do a little bit of glue on the sides, squeeze them together, and of course this one, and squeeze it again. Then we're going to do this 2 piece, and this one. Now we already have 2 pieces of 3. And we're going to glue both of them to each other. I mean it in the way of the length of your blocks. I showed you in a moment. This is what I mean. Now we already have 2 from 3, so 6 in total. So we have already a little bit of the body and the head of our reindeer. What we're going to do, we're going to glue 2 of this kind of blocks on top of here. Of course, a little glue here and a little piece over here, because we don't want to glue everything. So in this place, and we're going to do a little piece over here. And now we squeeze it together to get a nice top. And you see, this is what I mean. We have this in the middle of the middles of our blocks. You see? Now we need, of course, his antlers, if I am saying it okay. We want them over here, so we're going to place them in the middle of this line and the middle of this line. So it's very easy. Just glue it in the middle, and of course the other one in the middle. And now we already almost have our reindeer. Of course, he doesn't look like a reindeer right now, but he will be. We also give him a stand to stand on, and that will be with 4 blocks. 1 over here, and of course 1 over here. And now we are going to glue both of the blocks together to get one stand which our reindeer can stand on. You see already? This is our stand, and we are going to glue our reindeer on top of here. So here you see our stand, and I'm going to do some glue under our reindeer, and we are going to glue it exactly in the middle of our stand and squeeze it a little bit so we get real tight. And you see already, now you have your own reindeer. Of course, it has to still it looks more and more like a reindeer. We have already 3 of them because I already made a couple of them. What we're going to do right now, we are going to paint them, and you can wax them, or you can give them a brown color or maybe a white color if you like it better. But for me, a reindeer is always a little bit in the brown color, so I'm probably going to wax it. So we will see how this will turn out, and then we're going to give it some eyes and some nose. For waxing my reindeer, I am using the Home brand of a furniture wax, because I always love a very cheap, and this is a very good brand, but it doesn't cost a lot. So but you can use any brand you like and any wax you like. I am always very happy with my homemade brand. So I will do it, all 3 of them, in the furniture wax, and then you will see the result. For waxing my little reindeers, I am using my simple furniture wax. I always use a little bit of the cheap brand, because this one is also good and just as good as the expensive ones. So I will use this one, but of course you can use any at least any color, any brand or you want to use. But of course, I always say the cheaper the better. Not always, but the most of the time. Most of the time. So I will do all 3 of them in some furniture wax, and then we're going to do the next step. In the meantime, while our other reindeers are drying, I'm going to try to make a reindeer which is also standing up. We will see how this will turn out or not, if he is standing or not. So we are going to do the base together. If you I think this is boring, please skip forward, because not everyone likes it to see everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the front of our reindeer the same like we did with the other one. So just 3 of them and another one, and only we don't do 2 times, we only do it 1 time. We lay it, you see this one, 3 times. We take 2 blocks, and again we are going to glue this one on top of here. Just make the same head like we did with the other ones. And of course I have to do a little bit of glue over here and keep it in place and squeeze it. And of course remove the glue you don't need. Of course I did it already wrong. You see already I did some glue on this side. Of course we don't need glue on this side, so I always make mistakes where my camera is running. Now we need the antlers, and we are going to do it again just in the line of this one, halfway. Just do a little bit on the top, lay it down and just squeeze it again. Remove the glue, and this top I show it to you in a moment. And now we already have the head of our reindeer. And again, this is how he's looking like. This is already his head. So now we're going to make his body. And I make it this way. Of course, there are maybe lots of different ways to make it. I have to remove my glue. I am going to do 3 blocks this way, and then I'm going to do double up all of them, and I'm going to do it again this way, and this way, and this way. First I'm going to glue all 6 of them on top of each other, so very easy, just glue it. Make sure you get it very nice and even. This one, just glue the other one, lay it down next to each other and squeeze it to make sure that you have a nice straight line. And if you are fast, you still can work with your glue or from your glue gun. Don't wait too long, because or else it doesn't work anymore. Lay it down and again squeeze it real hard and keep it in place. The other one on top of each other, again lay it down, squeeze it. And the last one, a little glue on top of here, lay it down. And now you already have 6 blocks of 2 this way. What we're going to do right now is we're going to glue this one against each other and again squeeze it and keep it in place, and this one, and also squeeze it and keep it in place. Now you get a nice little block from 6, and you see this is already 1. Now we're going to do the same to this one. Of course I need the sides, don't make a mistake. And we are going to glue again, and the last one we are going to do it this way, again squeeze. And now we have 2 blocks of 6. We are going to do the top, we are do some glue on it, and we are squeeze them both together, so we get a nice pack with blocks. Now we need some feet, of course. Now we are going to place the feet on the sides of this block, so we do a little glue on here. We are going to place it exactly on the end, so keep it in place for a little moment, and then be sure that you wait until it is dried up. So this is what I mean. I showed you also a little bit this way if you want to make them also. Now we're going to do all 4 of them, and this one will come over here because our reindeer has 4 feet, and I have to get him straight or else he doesn't stand on his own. And another one. So always look a little bit on the side of your reindeer, because maybe on the front you have the legs okay, but it doesn't always have to be in a straight line. So always also look on the sides I mean this side, that you see that he is straight or not straight. And the last one. And then he is already to stand on his own. At least I hope he does. And this way, squeeze it a little bit, remove the glue you don't need. And now it looks more like a little table. you can even use it as a table. And now we have our head of our reindeer. I have some glue on my finger and I don't get it away. I can show it to you also this way. So we're going to do some glue on the underside of our head. And we are going to place it on the front. And we have to be sure that he is in the middle and he is right up. I keep it in place. Now you see already we have our own little reindeer. Of course, we need a little bit of work with it to look like a reindeer. So he has to get some eyes, some nose, and we are also going to do, because I already made one, we have our second one also. And this one, both of them we are going to do in the furniture wax. Also for this reindeer, I'm using my furniture wax. Of course, I could have done painting it in the brown color, but I am really loving the rustic look of my furniture wax. But you are free to do any color you like. I am always very fond of my furniture wax and I think it's very easy to work with. So I will put this in the furniture wax and then we are going to do work on all 5 of our reindeers. All 3 of them are finished right now and they are dried up. I did a little bit with some towel over the furniture wax because I always like to brush it up a little bit. So they are dried up right now. What we're going to do, we're going to give it a little face. I'm going to do 2 eyes and a little nose. I bought this couple of eyes, some stickers. You can place them on top of your a reindeer, and of course you can use it for a snowman, you can use them for anything. I found this one in Germany because we were on holiday and there I found them, so I still didn't find them in the Netherlands, but of course we sell them also. And I bought a couple of the smaller ones, so I will see which one I will need, the bigger ones or the smaller ones. I am going for the little bit of the bigger eyes because I think they are popping out a little bit more. So I'm going to glue them on top of here. Of course, they also have a sticker, so maybe I can try that also. And I'm going to place them just under the 2 blocks I have over here. So just under it and just against each other. I'm going to try if I get the sticker out, but most of the time when the camera is running, nothing will work. So you probably have to wait 1 hour before I have my sticker off. So I will do this out of camera. And you see already our eyes are on top of here. It took me really a long time to get the sticker, the back side of the sticker off. So be happy that I didn't film it, so you will be here for a long time. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to give it a 1 red nose, but I'm going to do it from some branch of berries because this size is very nice. So I took already 1 off and you see already he starting to look more and more like a reindeer. So I'm going to glue this on top of here too. So I did cut out the side which was attached to my branch. Of course I didn't want to see that and I want to have it very close to my reindeer, so I did cut off the back side a little bit and now I'm going to do some glue inside of this berry, just a little bit glue, just pull it off and then we're going to place it a little bit in the middle of our eyes because I want to have it on top of here. So I squeeze it for a little moment until it is dried up, because when you wax your decor, then it's always a little bit harder to get it glued because it's a little layer in between. So I hope this will stay in place. Of course I have to remove the glue. I still see I have glue over here and I don't like that. So again, And this is how he's looking like. I am so happy with his little face because I am not a great drawer. Some people can just make such a beautiful faces on top of their decor, but that's something I really can do. I am not a really great drawer, so I am really happy with the eyes I can stick on and the nose I can stick on. What we're going to do for this little reindeer stands is giving it a little ribbon. I can do a bow, or maybe for if you have a male reindeer, you can do a little, I don't know how you call it in the English. In English, here in the net we call it a stropdas. Maybe there's something also for the Dutch word of the day, but I have to look for how you call it in English. For my bow, I already tried out a couple of things. I have my black velvet ribbon, my red velvet ribbon. I already made a little bow out of it. I made a green little bow. I made a bow with some twine. For me, I think I like the most is to give it a little bit of the twine around here and then a little bow on top of here. But of course, you can go all the way. You can do even some greenery inside of here and then a little bow on top of it. You can decorate it any way you like. I'm going a little bit for the neutral way. So I'm going to do a little bit of twine a couple of times over here and then a little bow. But of course, like I said, do it whatever you think is right. I'm going to do on the back side because I want to hide the middle of our blocks. So I'm going to do a little glue on my back side this way. Now I'm going to lay in my twine, at least if I have the right twine, of course. And you see, just wait a second until it's dried up. And then we're going to make a couple of turns. But we have to be sure that it is dry. And now we're going to go in the middle and a couple of turns this way and a couple of turns this way. I hope you can see it, but I only do a couple of turns, not a lot. So you can do it as wide as you think you will need. I will cut it off and I will glue it on the back side. And lay down my twine inside of here. You see, this is what I mean. I just work it away on the back side, that even the back side is also looking very nice. So I showed you a little bit closer. This is how he's looking right now. And of course, now I'm going to give them a little bow, and this is just a simple bow, the way you tie your shoes. I did it already in many of my DIYs. So if you want to see how I did it, go ahead and check out the other DIYs. Because for everyone who saw it already a couple of times, I don't think they will want to see it again. So I will glue this on top of here. And I always glue it a little bit sideways and a little bit on the side of our reindeer. You see, this is how one of them already turned out. I will make all three of them, and then we're going to do the reindeer with the stand. All three of our reindeer stands are finished, and you can use them also very easily in your tier tray for the Christmas season. And of course, you can change them up. You can also make them for the fall season. You can do, instead of a red berry, you can also do maybe a little bit of an orange or a darker orange, and do a little bit of the fall ribbon on top of here instead of my twine. So you can go all the way with it. It is very seasonal. You can use it for fall, you can use it for Christmas, and maybe for something else. I don't know, maybe let your imagination go. So, but I will use them for the Christmas season, and I'm really happy how they turned out. Now we will decorate this reindeer, and of course, if you look at this way, it looks even like a stool, but I know at the end it will look okay. I will use this as a candle holder, so we will see how this will turn out. So, but this one is finished, and now we're going further with this two. For these two little reindeers, I'm going to give them first some eyes. I'm going also using the bigger eyes because I think they look a little bit more fun when I have the bigger ones. So I will stick them on top of here, and then we are going to do to give them, of course, also a nose. Our eyes are already on our reindeers. I have 2 red berries, but like I said with the other one, if you like your reindeers more a little bit already for the whole winter season, you also can give it a little piece of fur and just do a little other color of your berries. And you can use a styrofoam little ball. You can use a bead, and then you can color it up any color you like. So this is just an inspiration. Don't forget it. It's just no commitment. So how you have to do it is just how I do it. So give it your own touch. The little noses are already on top of here. What I'm going to do, I made already for one of them a little tail, because I think a reindeer also needs a tail. So I'll show you to you how easy it is just to make your own tail for your reindeer. So I have some leftover little pieces of twine, and I'm going to lay them all in one straight line in my fingers, just a couple of them. And you see, I am going to place them in one line so you get a nice little bundle of your piece of twine. What I'm going to do is just squeeze them a little, and I'm going to do a little glue on the top, and I'm going to lay down a piece of also old twine, and I'm lay it on top of my glue and wait a second until it's dried up. I have to be sure that it is dry before I can work with it, and squeeze it. And what we're going to do right now is just going to turn over a couple of times so we get a nice start of our tail. And I'm going to turn over, I showed you in the camera a little bit better, so I'm going to do sideways and just work your way downstairs until you have a couple of turns around your threads. Do a little bit of glue and lay again your piece of twine inside of here, and just wait for a little second, and then you get this piece. Of course, we will cut off the top because that is not the great side to see. So you see, we have a nice top of our tail. I have to cut off this piece. And now, of course, he's much too long, but we will cut it off. We will do some glue. I will have to measure out a little bit how long this one was. And now I'm going to cut off. Maybe I can lay down a little bit. So, and we want to have the same length of tail. Maybe this. Cut off. And we are going to glue it on the back side of this one. Glue over here, and of course I see already that I'm not doing it in front of the camera, so I'm going to place it in the middle on the back side of our reindeer. Wait a second, and now we are going to work with it and give it a little bit more like a tail. Pull it out a little bit more so you get more of a tail. So you see already, now he looks more and more like a reindeer. I did a little experiment. I gave my little reindeer a little bow tie. This bow tie is, I think, a short one, but this is just a tie. What I'm going to do, I'm going to also make one in the black, so I'm going to try to show it to you, but I am no good at it. So I can make a knot in the tie, but to explain it to someone, it's very hard, but I'm going to do my best. So lay one over here. This is the back side. Normally it is your neck, but we are going to do this one over here. So we lay one over here. We are going to get it under, and we are going to place it over. We are going to get it under, over here, through here, and now we're going to do it to the first thing you did laid over, and now you're pulling it through. Of course, he has to go, and there he is. And you see, now you have your own tie knot. So I'll show it to you this way. Now you have your own knot on your tie, but I don't know if you really understand how it works. Maybe you can better ask your husband to tie one up for you. So, but I did my best. Now you see, now they both have a little tie. I don't know which one I like the best, if I like the black color the best or the red color. I think I'm going for the black, but of course I can always change it up for the red one. But for now I think I will choose for both of them for the black color. See already my little reindeers already both have their black tie, so I'm really happy about that. So I'm going to do 6 blocks 6 blocks with my tumbling towel blocks, and I'm going to glue 3 of them together, so this way. And now we have a nice square from 3, just squeeze together. This is what I mean, this is what we want, because we need it for the back. We are going to make some little candle holders. I was looking for glass candle holders, you know, those little glass candle holders. Everyone has them, the Dollar Tree here in the Netherlands, everyone has them, but when I need them, they were not to find. So I have to make a little adjustment to my piece. So what I do, I'm going to glue this on the back side of my reindeer, and I am going to paint also one of my tea lights in the black color, because then it's fitting everything together. So this will be black and this will be black, and then I will glue everything together on our reindeer. So you will see that in a moment. I'm using just black school board paint, but of course you can use any color you like. Like I said, I choose the black, but if you like red or green or any color you like better, just go ahead, just do whatever you think is right. I will finish this off, and then we're going to glue it on top of our reindeer. My 2 little boards are dried up, and of course also my tea lights are already in the black color. What we're going to do, I'm going to take my reindeer, I'm going to glue one of this little board on top of here, of board, of how you call it, I don't know how you could, it is not board, but you know what I mean. I'm just going to glue this on top of here, and of course I will do on the other side the same. Of course we need enough glue to keep it in place, and try to get it in the middle and squeeze it. And now we are going to place our little tea light on top of here. Of course I'm going to steady it with some sticky gum, because you can't glue it or else you can't remove your battery. So that's a little bit hard to do. So I will place them on, and you see, now if you place them this way, you have your own nice little reindeer candle holder. So I am really happy how it turned out. In a moment you see the end reveal of all my reindeers. need for this easy gnome DIY, we are needing, of course, our tumbling tower blocks. We need some styrofoam balls. I always order them online because they are the cheapest way to get the styrofoam balls in different sizes. You get just a bag full of different sizes. And of course I'm using my IKEA cork because I had that laying around, but you can also use a piece of cardboard, a piece of wood. It doesn't matter, just what you have laying around. I always love DIYs which are easy and they are budget friendly because we don't want to spend a lot of money. So this is what we need for our gnome ornaments. You see already I have my tumbling tower blocks on my table. My glue gun is green, so we are ready to make our gnome head. So this is, like I always say, most of the time DIYs I do, it is a little bit of an experiment. I did never make a gnome's head from tumbling tower blocks, so we will see how this will turn out. I am going to try to make 3 blocks together, and that is not the difficult part, of course. And just remove the glue immediately, so you have a block of 3. We are going to do on each side 2 blocks also, but we are going to do it a little lower, but try to get it on the same height as the other one next to it. So this one over here and one over here. Of course I should have glued it not totally to the end, so a little bit like this, because you don't need glue on the underside, and I already did. So don't do it just like me. And just immediately remove your glue and you get a little shape like this. We are going to get again 2 blocks and we are going to do it again a little piece lower. And also don't glue until the end, just a little bit, maybe 3/4, and just leave 1/4 open. And we are going to do this one and just glue it at least a little bit on the same height. So now we get a nice, it looks like a little fence. Of course you can use it as a fence, but we are going to try to build it further to a head. We are going to do again 3 blocks to each other, just squeeze away and just make it even. And again this one, and we're also going to do this one to each other. Now we have a block of 3 again. Just do some glue under here and just glue it on the top in the middle, and again remove your glue. What we're going to do right now, again we're going to take 2 blocks and we are going to glue this on this side. So we're gluing this way and a little bit on this way. Now we're going to squeeze it in, and always when I have my camera running I'm always making one big mess. I'm sorry about that, and I'm not really a clean worker. Some people always have the place where they are doing their DIYs totally clean. I am so jealous on that, because I always making one big mess. So you see, now you have a 2-piece. We are going to do 3 blocks on top of each other, just this way, and another one. And of course, for everyone who doesn't want to see how I make this a gnome head, just skip forward. You are so free to do so, because not everyone is loving it. So, and I'm going to do it again on the top of this piece. And now we need a 2-piece, and one, and this one, and also this 2-piece we are going to glue on top of our head as a top. Later on we are going to do a little a bead on top of here. I don't know if I do a bead, or maybe I think I do a little styrofoam ball, and we are going to do on the top. But you see, this will be the base of our gnome head. And imagine that you have a styrofoam bowl on top of here, and the beard over here, and the nose over here. But this is one head, and I'm going to make the second one, and then we are going to do a little piece of cork used as a base, but I'll show you that in a moment. Our two gnome heads are ready. I'm going to lay one away, and I'm going to take one cork from IKEA. They come as a set of two. They are for $2.49, so they are very cheap. But of course, you can use a little piece of cardboard or a little piece of wood, because it's only have to be a base. I'm going to turn around one cork. I'm turning around, and I'm laying my, you see already my head on top of here, and I'm going to cut out. I showed you with my knife a little bit this way on the back side of my, so I only need this piece of my cork, because it is only a base on the back side of our gnome, because it can be an ornament, but you also can do a little twine on the back side, so you can work it in a kind of wreath for the Christmas season. That would always be great. On the side of your wreath you can get a nice gnome. So I will cut it out, and then I show it to you how it's really looking like. You see already on my table it is one big mess. What I did try, I had to make an example, so I before I could show you. My idea was just to make just this piece, but if you are doing your gnome head on top of here, of course this will work, the top, but then you get your beard much too small, so this doesn't it doesn't work. So I did pull it away. I did get the other side, and I'm just get it measure out this way, so a little bit on the inside of here and a little bit on the inside of here, and then I made it longer. So you just have to have a wider space on the underside, or else you don't get away with your beard. So this was like I said, always an experiment. So I am going to glue this one. You see, now I have it on the back side. It's totally fitting over here. I have a little space over here, and I have a little space over here. You can see not too much, but just a little. Then you're going to turn it around, and you still have your the white you need for your beard. But of course your beard is not not totally in a square. Your beard had to be a little bit run off, so I'm going to cut off a little piece of this corner and a little piece of this corner. I showed you this better than my English, but I am going to glue this on top of here, and then I'm going to cut off a little piece of this. So I take my glue, and I am going to measure it out for the last time. So this way it keeps a little bit in the middle, so a little bit glue over here. And I wish my glue gun was a little bit faster than this, because or else my glue on the other side is already dried up. So if you use a little bit different glue, is also fine too, because for this kind of piece, glue gun is not always the greatest. You see already, now he's a little bit, and I'm going to glue this on top of here, and just keep it as wide as you can, and just squeeze it and let it dry for a second. You see already I made one example how I did cut off a little piece of the sides. So I am using just a little piece of this one, so you can have the same measurement you have on the other one. So just cut it off, and be careful with your knife, but I think you already know that. So, and just break it off. And I will do the other side also, and then we're going to paint it in the white color. I turned over my placemat, and what I'm going to do, I take my white chalk paint, and what I'm going to do, I'm give both of them a white color. Also my base, because I think it looks a little bit more neat if you give it a nice color, even for the back side, because I like that a little bit better, but you don't have to do that. Of course, I am making it white, but I was also thinking maybe you can do some furniture wax on it, then you get a little bit of a rustic gnome. So if you like that more, a little bit of the farmhouse rustic, just give it a nice furniture wax coating on top of it. And I'm going to take two of my styrofoam balls, the bigger ones and the smaller ones, and I'm going to do them in the black color. I use there my school board paint. But for now, first I'm going to give both of them a nice white chalk paint color. So, but of course, I use white. You can use, like I always say, just do whatever you think is right. I will paint both of them white, and I paint the nose and the top of the head black. And then we are going to make, of course, we are still missing our fur for our beard. So then we are going to make the beard. Our gnomes are painted, and you just see also the back side I did in the white color. What we're going to do right now, we are going to take some piece of fur. You see here I have a nice gray throw. So I think you call it a throw. Here in the Netherlands we call it a vliesdeken, but I don't know. I thought it is called a throw. So previously, correct me if I went wrong. So I will take a piece out of this, and then we are going to make our beard. I did cut out from my fabric just a little piece. So you see, this is just a longer piece, and I'm going to cut it in half. So I have for each gnome, I will have the same white, and of course I will glue this on the back side. So first I will cut it in two, and then we're going to glue this on top of our gnome. So you see I did cut it in half, and what I'm going to do, I just lay my gnome under it in the middle, and I'm start in the middle gluing this way here, and then I'm work my way downstairs around the gnome's head. So and later on we will do of course his nose. So I'm going to do some glue inside of here so I have my first piece I am gluing. So just glue it totally straight to the first side of your head, so this way. And of course later on we will do the fur better. And now we're going to do this side. I hope you can see it. And we're working our way downstairs just around his head, also over here, and just glue it and just keep it in place for a little moment. Even when you use your glue gun, you still have to keep it in place for a little moment until it is dried up, or else your work will be for nothing. So now I'm going to do this way, and you just see I'm just doing some glue over here just around his head, and just again work your way down the gnome's head, and just again keep it in place. And I know this takes a little bit long for you to watch, but I just wanted to show you, you see this way, so you get the nice shape of the head still. But later on when we are going to work with our fur, you will see this will turn out very nice, but we have to keep it in place for a little moment. And what I'm going to do right now is just do some glue over here. I will do a new glue stick inside of here and just glue your way around it. And then we're going to do the back side and just flap it over and just wait until it is dried up. And now we already have a big big beard. Of course I'm going to trim it, and and it will probably it will look like a beard. So the gnome is on the front, is the beard on top of here. I did turn it around, and I'm just gluing the sides to each other. And you see I just measured out that they come really close to each other. What I'm going to do, because I want to keep the beard a little bit inside of how do you say it, not triangle, maybe triangle, I hope I say it right, but here in the Netherlands we call it een punt. So it has to be that the beard is a little bit this way on the underside. So I'm going to glue this of course over here, and this one a little bit over here, and also inside of here, just to try to get a little bit the shape of a little point on the underside. So I will glue this together, but there's no rhyme or reason how to do it. Just glue and just feel a little bit what the best way is to glue it, that you get a nice shape on the underside. And here you see how our gnome is already turned out, and it's a little bit more like a heavy metal heavy metal from a rock band. No, but I hope with the nose he still looks a little bit more like a little bit of the gnome we know. So I am going to take my nose, and of course you see already these are the pieces I did with the black schoolboard paint. 1, 2 for the head, and of course 1 for the nose. So I'm taking it off and I'm going to glue this inside of here, so our gnome will even look more like a gnome. So I have to find the right place, because if I do it this way, I don't think I really like it. So I do a little bit, couple of the fur above, and then I'm going to glue it inside of here. So a little bit this, but that's of course just my privilege, so you don't have to do it. You can do anything you like. If you like it a little bit different, it's also fine too. I always say with DIY and crafting, you can do whatever you think is right, and just keep it in place for a couple of seconds, because it dries very fast, but you still need to keep it in place until it is dried up. And I know it takes a little bit of your time, but for everyone who enjoys to seeing how I really do it, I always do it this way, but you're free to skip forward. You see already, this is our nose. And now I want to distress my head, because for me it's a little bit too white. So I'm going to take my permanent marker and my brown to give it a little bit of the rustic head. And then we're going to do on top, we are going to do one of the black tops. So, but first we're going to distress it. So you see already, this is our second gnome. He's also finished. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my permanent text marker. This is just a simple marker, so just go a little bit around the sides of your gnome head to give it a little bit of an accent. So you see, just keep it sideways, and just I have to work away my faux for a little bit, so, and just go around the sides just to give it a little bit of an old feeling. So I will do the head, and then I'm show to you what I did. I did my distressing on the sides only, because I didn't want to have too much, but do as much as you like. What I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to give it a little bit of the Christmas feeling. So I'm going to take my greenery. I have always old pics of greenery. I have some little small ribbon and some couple of the red berries, also old pieces I always keep for years. So I always take everything apart and just keep it in a little bag, so I can get it out anytime I like. So I'm going to do some greenery on top of here, 3 pieces, one over here, and one in the middle. Then I'm going to do some red berries, and with the girl I'm going to do a little bow in the black color. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, like I said, just glue one of my little greenery this way in the middle. I'm just gluing the other one on the other side against each other, so really close to each other, a little bit over each other, so you get a nice fitting to each other. And just again keep it in place for a little moment. And now we're going to do the top, and this one is a little bit short, because we don't want to have the short of the top too long. In a moment I will turn it around and show it to you. This one is dried up, so this is what I mean, just one over here, and one smaller one in the middle. What I'm going to do right now, I hope I can do it upside down, upside down, taking one of the red berries and just glue it in the middle, keep it in place. and again another one. And you can use, I will use red berries, but you can use blue one, green one, just whatever you like. The other one next to the other one, I show it to you. This is what I mean. And now the third one, and this one will be in the middle of the other one. So you get a nice 3-piece. I always like it to have 3 berries next to each other. You see, this is the top, and now I'm going to do a little bow under here. You see I have a little small bow, but I just made it the way you tie your shoes and just cut off the length you need. And I'm going to glue this under here. So this will be a girl. And I have to glue it under our greenery. And make a little shape inside of it. So I showed you a little bit better. Of course I am under the glue again, but don't worry. And now we get his beard a little bit above, so this way. And now I think already he looks so cute, and we still need to do the top. And you see both of our gnomes are finished. I love how they both turned out. If you imagine where we started with, it was a little bit of an experiment, but still we need to do, of course, get off our styrofoam balls and just glue it on top of our have my glue gun is ready, so we are ready to make this DIY. And like I said, it's the first time I'm going to make a banner from tumbling towel blocks. We will see how this will turn out. I tried already a couple of different shapes to make for my banner. I also love this one, just to make a couple of them. You can make the word Noel, you can make joy, you can make Xmas, just an X and an M and A and an S. But because Christmas will be very long, if you write the word Christmas totally, then you have to have a real big mantle. But I am really loving the shape of a Christmas tree, so I'm going to do some lettering, of course, on top of here to make it look like a real banner. But I think I'm going for the Christmas tree, so I make a couple of Christmas trees for my banner, and here we will do a little bead on top of here, so we can the twine go through it, so our Christmas trees can hang under it. So I hope this will turn out right. So I'm going to make now my Christmas tree. So the first thing what we're going to do, because this one is only for the bottom, we are going to make 4 blocks. We are going to glue together. This is very easy. First 4 blocks, and of course remove immediately your glue, then you have a little bit less work later. So this is 3. Now we have to do the 4th, and then we're going to make one with 3. This is so easy. I think you already know how to make this Christmas tree, but for everyone who loves to see it, I show it to you. One Christmas tree, of course. The rest I will do out of camera, because you see already this is 1. Now we have to do 1 block from 2. And you see we just only have to glue them together. I can better glue the one with 3, and we are going to glue it together this way. And I immediately again remove my glue. I'm going to do some glue on the 2-piece, and we're also gluing this together and removing the glue. And now we're going to do the 1 piece, and we're going to glue this one on here. And now we only need his bottom. But I'm already totally in my glue. Let me know down below if you are just like me, always under the glue. At least when my camera is running, I am always under the glue. And again, remove the glue. Oh, I thought he was already sticking. This is already our Christmas tree, and I'm going to make a couple of them because I think I will do the word Noel, but I'm not totally sure. But at least I will make 4 Christmas trees. And here you see our Christmas trees. It turned out to be 5. I said to you I will do 4, but it turned out I made 5. But I'm going to use 4. You see here on my table I have already my wooden ladders over here. I always buy them very cheap. You can buy them at Dollar Tree, and of course here in the Action. I have my bag with my wooden pieces, and I am going to use a couple of the beads later on, and I have my red velvet ribbon. So I show you now the next step what we are going to do with our Christmas tree. The next step what we're going to do, of course I'm going to take 4 of them, but for all 5 of them I'm going to take my red velvet ribbon. And what I'm going to do, I turn my Christmas tree upside down, and I'm going to use some glue around here, and I'm going to glue my velvet ribbon on the sides of our Christmas tree this way. And of course, remove your glue again. You see, this is what I'm going to, and I'm going to go all around my Christmas tree, so it gives a nice I think a high-end look, but at least a more a kinder look if you leave it this way. So I'm going to do this all around. You see already I did all 5 of them with the velvet ribbon, of course. But what I did forget to tell you is, if you want to have your trees totally in the white color, then you have to paint it first. But I think that is already, you probably would know. So I am going to distress it a little bit with the white in between, so not totally in the white color. So, but if you do, like I said, just paint it first and then do your velvet ribbon on the side. And you also can do, instead of the velvet ribbon, you can do some twine if you like that, more of a thicker rope, just what you prefer. What I'm going to do right now is just going to give it a little bit of a white distressing on top of here, on all 5 of them. Whoa. English is not my greatest thing, so I am going to distress it with the white chalk paint. You see that in a moment. So I have my chalk paint ready, and I'm going to do a little bit of the white chalk paint on my brush. You see here, just a little bit. What I'm going to do, I show to you here, is just dab it off. Just make sure that most of your chalk paint is gone. The only thing what I'm going to do is just going in the middle, little dots of white, just not a lot, just a little piece, because I only want to give it a little bit of the white touch, but not too much. I will do all 5 of them, and then I show you how they are looking like with a little distressing of the white. Here you see how all 5 of them turned out. What we're going to do now, we are just going to do some lettering on top of here, and I'm going to try to do the word Xmas. So like I said, XMAS. And of course this one will be over, so I will do something different with this one. So forget this one. We are going to do the 4 Christmas trees, and the 5th you will see later. This is how it will look when you have, and of course I see already in my camera that the X has to be here, and I thought I had it right. Just a moment. And yes, you see already, this is the right way. You see, these are the words. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue them on top of here, and then we are going to take the 4 beads we just got out of my bag, and we are going to glue them also on the top of our tree. We have our letters on top of here. I'm going to take my bead and I'm just going to do a little dot of glue on the top of our tree. You see here, this is what I mean, and I'm just going to lay my bead inside of the glue. Just try to get it a little bit even in the middle. I show it to you in a moment because I know I'm out of camera right now. So this is what I mean, and of course we will work that away, but just try to get it in the middle. The letters are on top of here, our beads are on top of here. The only thing what we need for this banner is just to give it a little bit more of a Christmassy feeling. So I took some out of my stash, some greenery. I always keep my greenery. I do two little smaller picks, just little smaller pieces of a branch, and I'm going to glue this one this way, and I'm going to glue one this way, a little bit sideways. It looks a little bit strange right now, but I hope it will look okay. And I do two of this one of the branches, but you can use any branch you like. And I'm doing a couple of berries inside of here, so I will glue this together. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just doing a little bit glue on top of here. Just place it a little bit this way, and this one a little bit in the other direction. And of course, just right next to each other. And just squeeze it a little bit. We do the tops of a branch, and we are going to lay it also inside of here and just keep it in place. And keep it for a couple of seconds. Then remove your finger. And now we're going to do the last of the greenery. And I'm going to place it over here and keep it in place for a little moment until our glue is dried up. I show it to you in a moment. So now it gives also a little bit more dimensional feeling because it's coming out of the Christmas tree a little bit. So what I still need to do is just get some berries, and I have an old branch of berries and just picking out little pieces. So you just get a nice branch, you do some glue on top of here and just place it in the middle of your branch, and just also keep it again a couple of seconds on his place until he is dried up. And I always do 3 pieces or 3, 5, but always here in the Netherlands we call it uneven, but I think it's uneven. I hope I say it right. And again, just get it and glue it in place, at least not on my finger, but on your work. Keep it also again, and I will do the last of our berries, and then I show it to you a little bit closer again. And I'm going to place it next to the other two, and I keep it a second. And you see, this is what I mean. And now you already have your own little Christmassy tree, and I am really loving, especially it's very simple and easy. So I will do the rest of them, and then we're going to do some twine over here. You see already our leftover Christmas tree we didn't need for our banner. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take 3 letters. I also use the wooden black letters, and I'm going to glue this on top of here and make the word joy. So I will glue this on top of here. I will show it to you because this is very easy and fast to do. Of course, in the middle of your tree. On this one I have to get it right. This one, on this piece we are going to do the O. And also again in the middle. And the Y on also again in the middle of the 4. And now we have joy. At least at least I see joy. You see also joy, but in the opposite direction. In a moment you see it the right way. I'm also going to do on this Christmas tree also a little bit of our greenery and our red berries I just did. So again, I'm just taking the 2 longer ones, just glue it on top of here, just this way. We are going to do one the other way, a little bit next to each other, and just squeeze it a little bit. The bigger pieces we are going to do one next to here, and the other one this way. And again, lay it a little bit next to each other and squeeze it a little bit together, because when the glue is not dried up, you still can move it around and place it the way you like. I always like it a little bit diagonal, if I hope I say it right. And I'm going to do some red berries also inside of the tree, so we get a little bit the same like the other trees, but only this one we are going to give a stand. And I hope I don't burn myself, because the berries are a little bit small. So I place one here, and one over here. And the last one, a little bit of glue on top of here, and turn it around a little bit so you can see a bit more what you're doing. And I try to get it, because or else he will be before my Y. And I keep it in place for a second. So you see, this is already the underpiece. Now we are going to need a stand. We just take 2 blocks, just glue it together this way. And of course I will distress it in a moment a little bit, also with some chalk paint, so it gets the same structure like my Christmas tree. And now we are going to glue our Christmas tree on top of here, so we get our own. I showed you a little bit closer. My camera is even too small, so this will be how we will look like. So we have a nice stand with our banner, so it looks everything comparing to each other. You see our little pieces of our banner are ready. I'm just going to take this twine, and I'm going to use a little bit of the thinner one, but I'm going to try at least do 2 pieces together, maybe 3, I will see, and just use the length you need. If you need 1 meter or you need more for your banner, just go ahead, do whatever you like. I have a little shelf where I have it hanging under, so I don't need too much. So I will finish this off, and then I show you in a moment the entries. You see already what we will use. We are going to use some tumbling tower blocks, but of course you can use any wood you like. But for this time I'm going to take my tumbling tower blocks, and we are going to try to make a Christmas lantern out of it. Everything is ready on my table, my blocks, and of course my glue gun. What would we do without our glue gun? So what I'm going to do first is going to take 3, because I'm going to do a little experiment. I know how I want to make the bigger one, but the smaller one, I have no idea how he will turn out, because if he's too small for a little tea light. So we will see. I just do it together with you. So for everyone who doesn't like to see how I make it, just skip forward because you don't have to see it. But for everyone who likes to see how it's made, then I will do it together with you. So we make just one block of 3. What we're going to do, we take one and we are going to glue it on top of the side, and we are going to glue it on here, on this part, this way. And we will take another one, also we glue on the top, and we are going to glue it on the other side. And of course, remove your glue, you don't need, I always say, I can't say it enough. And of course I have to get it off my table. This is what you get so far. Now we take another block and we are going to do some glue on the tops, on here, and we are going to squeeze the block on here. Make sure that he is in the middle and not like I did a little bit off. So now you're ready. It's just almost like a door. And we're going to take another block. We're putting it on top of here again, the same way we did before. And this one, of course, over here, squeeze it, remove the glue, and we are going to do again on top. We are going to do a little glue and a little glue here. Again, lay it down, squeeze real hard, and push this one, of course, also on top. And the only thing what we need to do is, because we have this kind of blocks, but of course I also use the half of one of the tumbling tower blocks. You of course take a couple of them and just with your hand just saw it through, because you need also a couple of the smaller ones. So what I'm going to do some glue again on the top and just place it in the middle, like you get a little bit of a house. Of course, I have to show it to you this way because the other side is still with glue. So this is one side of our lantern. Now I'm going to make 4 of this one, and then we're going to glue it together. You see already our 4 sides are finished. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to place 2 away. I'm going to use this 2, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to place on each side of this side, I'm going to place a new block. So only on the 2 sides. So just do a little glue on top of here, place it against each other just in the same way like you did the others. And of course this one, and one over here, and squeeze it. And this is then what you get. And I'm going to do this side, of course, and the other one. And these are the blocks we are going to make our other sides on. So we had a nice grip to get our other sides together. Of course, I did choose for some opening, but of course, if you don't want to have an opening, then you have to glue them angled to each other. I hope I make sense what I said. These are the 2. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take one side, which is without and I'm going to place it against here. Then you get, if you show it to you this way, then you get a little opening, but this is the opening I will decorate. So I will glue this together. This one, and I'm going to lay it on top of here, and of course I'm going to try to get it in the middle, and squeeze it, and this is what you get. And I will do every corner. Of course, it's very easy to do. Just lay your other one in between. So again, some glue on this side, and again I'm going to place it on top of here and try to get it straight with the other one. And now we're going to do the last part, and if he's correct, he's fitting on top of here, so you get your, your nice lantern. See, I did some glue on this sides, and now I'm going to lay it on top of here, and of course I have to hold it for a little moment and get them a little bit out of each other because he has to fit. So it's a little bit of a task. You see already my struggle. But at the end we will get there. And you see, this is our first little lantern, and of course we still need a bottom. For our bottom we are going to use 10 blocks. I'm going to first do 5 together, just very simple. I hope I don't blind you every time when I use my glue gun. Then you have to almost wear glasses, but I already made a little dot with black on my light, but it still is not totally finished, at least disappeared. So I hope I don't blind you. And this is number 4, and I need a new stick inside. Of course this is 4, and now we are going to do number 5. And just try to get them as straight as you can. And this is what you get, 5 pieces in a row. And now we're going to do the other 5 pieces in a row. And the third. And the fourth. And the last. And this will be the last one, and then we're going to glue both of the 5 pieces together. Just very easy, just do some glue over here and glue them against each other and really squeeze them real hard so we get a nice bottom. This is what we get, and if I am correct and everything looks okay, if I place it on side, then we have a nice bottom for our lantern. At least I like it. You can do it any way you like. You can do it maybe with some cardboard. Maybe you have better ideas. Let me know. I'm going to do on top of here. So I'm going to glue my lantern on top of here. And of course I need enough glue to glue it on top, because we don't want it falling off. And I have to look if I am in the middle, and now I have to squeeze it real hard and remove the glue we don't need. And you see already, this is how he's looking like right now, and I am really happy how he's looking. Of course we have to see it with a tea light. I did had a couple of the black tea lights still, because I needed them also from another project, and I painted a couple of them in the black color, and I really am happy with the black color because I like it a little bit better than the creamy ones. So this one is from IKEA, so if you need them you can buy them really anywhere. So you see already I have one of them inside of here, and I am really loving my little lantern this way. This is the smaller one, of course. Like I said, it was an experiment, and I am really happy how it turned out. I probably will do some handle from a little bit of a rope, or maybe something with some ribbon. We will see. But of course the base for the smaller one is finished. We are now going to do the bigger one. We are ready for the bigger lantern. What I'm going to do right now is just going to place 6 tumbling towel blocks, and we are going to glue them together. Of course this is a very easy step, so of course, but for everyone who wants to know, I'm going to show it to you. But of course, for everyone who doesn't want to know and it takes a little bit too much of your time, I totally understand if you skip forward. Of course, I hope you don't, and of course you still enjoy it. But for everyone who likes to see it and make 1 or 2 for themselves, so I'm going to show it to you this way, and I'm going to try to do it as fast as I can. You see already one block from 6. Now we are going to take one block over here and we are going to place it on the first and squeeze it. Remove your glue like I always say. And you see this is already one. Now we're going to do one over here and we leave one open and this way. I have to move it a little bit. And now we're going to do one of the tops we are going to glue and one of the sides with glue. And we're going to turn it over and now we're going to place it next to the other one and squeeze it as hard as you can so it is in its place. And again, the last one we are going to do, of course, on this side. You see, this is very easy to do. Now we have the underbase of our lantern. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this top, these two tops, of course, and this top. Lay it down, get 2 blocks, and just squeeze them on top of each other, and also this one. And again, you see already now you have a double door. So if you want to make a house, you already have your double door, 2 little doorknobs, and you're already fit to go. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to repeat this one because I want to have a bigger lantern. And remove it. And again, one over here again. And this way. And now we're going to do this block again, the top and the side. Turn it over and squeeze it inside of here. And the last block, of course, also over here. And I have to get it straight. Again, the tops with some glue. This one, this two, and this one. Again, place it down. Get 2 of your blocks, one over here and one over here. Squeeze it. And this is already a little level higher. We're going to take one block, we do some glue on the sides. We place it on top of here in the middle. And now we get this. And as last, we need a little half of our tumbling tower blocks. And this half we are going to place on top to make a little kind of an house. Yeah, it looks a little bit like a house. And you see, this is already the first panel we need. I will make 4 of them and then I will be back with you. And again, we have 4 of our panels finished. What we're going to do are 4 sides, just how you call it. We are going to lay again 2 away and we are going to use this 2 and we are going to place on each side again, like we did also with our smaller lantern. We are going to glue them on the sides for the base. And of course, if you have, like I said, also with the smaller one, if you have a better idea, just let me know. I would love to hear it because I'm always open for more ideas and more inspiration. So if you have something better, let me know. For me, this works right now the best because now he's the same as our smaller lantern. And of course, you can also glue them together just on each side. This way, you can glue them together, but that's always, I don't know, it's not always the best way. But of course, everyone does his own way, just like I do. So you see, now we have already the sides for gluing on top of our, and now we're going to glue this one on top of here and the other one over here. Both panels are on top of our, on the first of the base, you see already this way. And now we still need on top of here, we need to do the last piece. And of course we have to squeeze it, open it, squeeze it, open it a little bit for this one, so we get a nice straight line. Of course, I'm going to do some glue over here. I show it to you because also for me as an amateur is struggling to get the panels inside. So I always love to show you that also, because everyone is trying to do their best. And of course this way. And now I'm going to squeeze this one open and try to get this one also. And of course I have to look if I have it in a straight line, but it is really a task, so don't worry, give yourself some grace, because everyone is struggling to get the 4 panels in the same way. So you see, now we have an opening and we have our lantern, and I am really thrilled how it's looking like. Now we still also need for this one a bottom, so I have to measure out a little bit how many blocks I need. Maybe I think for the first I needed 6 in a row and 2 rows, but maybe I need 3. So I measured out a little bit, and if I am correct, I need 9 of my blocks and I need 3 rows of 9. So that will be 27 blocks. And I will make 3 rows of 9, and I will do that out of camera, or else it will be taking much too long. Our 3 pieces of 9 are finished. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue the underside of one panel. Of course I need some glue again. Always when I'm doing this, my glue is finished, so I'm going to glue this together. Of course, make a straight line, squeeze it, and remove the glue again. And now we're going to do the last piece also on top of here, and just give it some glue, and we are going to squeeze it together and very hard to make a nice bottom. And now we have our bottom of our lantern. Of course, I'm going to glue this one on top of here. You see already he looks very nice. So I will turn over my lantern and I'm going to glue the bottom. Of course, use enough glue. And all around. And I always say you can remove the glue again. So place it on top of your bottom and now squeeze it real hard until it's sticking right. And then we already have our second, a little bit bigger lantern. Of course, this one's a little bit easier to decorate also. The smaller one and the bigger one. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to give it some paint or some furniture wax. We will see. I have still debating with myself what I will do. I figured out what I'm going to do with my lanterns. I am going to make them white, but not totally white. I'm going to give them a little bit of distressing white. So I use my very cheap brand white chalk paint. So I'm going to do some paint on top of my brush, but I also wipe it off a little kitchen towel because I don't want to have too much on my lantern. And of course, just do little pieces with where you think it needs a little bit of whitening. So I will do both of them, the bigger one and the smaller one, and then I show you how they look like when you have them a little bit in the white washing. You see already both of them are just in the white chalk paint, at least the distressed chalk paint. What I'm going to do right now, I want to give it a little bit more of a warmer and rustic feeling. So I take out my furniture wax and I'm going to do the inside, And then I'm going to distress a little bit of the outside of our lanterns. So I will show you in a moment a little piece, because I have to work a little bit to get it inside. So it is a little bit of a task. I did my inside with some furniture wax, but it is really a task. I am totally under my furniture wax, because the inside, of course, I should have done before I glued it together. I should have done already one side, what will be the inside in some furniture wax or any color you like, because later on it is not easy. I can say from experience, don't do it. But at least with a longer brush it did go, but it was a task. So I did the inside from this one, and of course the inside from this one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little piece of kitchen towel, and I'm going to dab off most of my furniture wax. And now I'm going to distress the sides on the outside, just little pieces over here, maybe the corners, just to give it a little bit more of a rustic look. But of course, this is if you don't like it, you don't like rustic, and you don't like the distressing, then don't do it. Just paint it in the color you like. This is just the way I will have it, but it's no must. You don't have to do it. So I will do both of them with a little bit of distressing. Now you see already the distressing is also on the outside of our little lanterns or hurricane lights, just how you call it. What I'm going to do, because I think I want to change it up a little bit, I have here some ribbons, a little bit of the smaller red, a little bit of the traditional green, brown, white, a little bit of the wider black. The red is of course a little bit wider, and I have a green one. What I'm going to do, I'm probably going to make one wider one over here and a smaller ribbon over here, a little bit on top of here, because I don't, of course you can give it a handle, but I don't think I will give it this way, because I like it always a little bit better in my decor without. But of course you can give it some little handle on the sides, on each side, but I think I'm going to go for this time a knot. So I'm going to decorate the underside. So I'm going to take a little piece of my green. I think I'm going for two of the green, a bigger one and a smaller one. So I will show to you in a moment how it will look like. So you see, I lay down my first light, and I'm going to do some glue on my ribbon, a little piece over here, and I lay it down against the bottom and just wait a little moment until it's dried up. And now we are going to turn it over and keep it down as low as you can. Of course, try to get it. And now I'm going to have this side, and I'm going to cut off. And of course I have to do it a little bit neater, because this cut is not really great. You see already, this is the first layer from our thicker ribbon, and now I'm going to do a one layer, and I'm going to do the smaller, but I'm going to do it a little bit higher. Of course, this one I have to go a little bit low. I have to make sure that there is the same spaces in between. So I'm going to glue this also above. You see already, this is how it looked like, and I'm really happy with a little bit of space in between. I'm going to do also on this lantern the same. On both of my lights, you see already, I have my ribbon around it. And of course, it is a little bit of a Christmas lantern. So I am going to decorate a little bit with some greenery. I have here some greenery and some red berries. But of course, if you want to use it already for the fall season, you can do another ribbon, maybe a little bit more for fall, and later change it up for something for the Christmas. But of course, I am going to do it for the Christmas season, but be free to do whatever you think is right. I'm going to take my little of the pieces of my greenery and just always going to cut off the back sides. You see already this is one plastic back side, and I don't like that kind of ending, so I always cut them off so we get a nice ending of our greenery. And I'm going to place them one over here, and then the other one will be over here. Just make a little layer, but you have to do it a little bit low, echt really in between the bottom and the first side. So really squeeze it up that you still can see enough of your green ribbon. I turned you over for a little moment, and I know you see things very close, really. It's really, my lantern is almost in your face. But I just wanted to show you how easy it is. I'm just going to place it a little bit more on the bottom. So I'm going to do on the back side of my greenery, I am going to exactly in the middle some glue, and I'm going to place it, like I said, a little bit more on the bottom than on the side, and squeeze it up for a little moment, and then I will show you this way. And now I'm going to take pink, a little bit more of a little greenery, and I'm going to place it on the back. Also again, do a little bit more of your glue on top of here and squeeze it a little bit on the back side, and of course bend it over a little bit and again squeeze it on the bottom. So it gives a little bit, this is sticking out a little bit, and this also, so that means it comes a little bit more to life. So I will change it up, and I'm going to do the other side. You see here I picked up my red berries, a darker red and the lighter red. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do from each berry a little bit of the lighter and the darker. I'm going to do 2 of them here, 2 of them here, 2 here, 2 here, and so around. So it's very easy. Just take one of your berries and just do some glue on here and just stick it in between your greenery. And keep it in place for a little moment until it is dried up. And this is a lighter one, and now I'm going to go to get a little bit of the darker one, and I'm going to place it next to the lighter red, so they are just getting together. And again, keep it in place. You see here I have already 2 of them over here. Now I'm going to place one over here, and again keep it in place for a little moment. And now you can make it so Christmassy for only with a couple of the red berries. And we're going to take a red one of a darker red, a little blue, and just place it next to each other. And again squeeze it a little moment. And now you see already we have a nice Christmassy side. Now we're going to do the other sides. Just finished doing my little berries on the bottom of our lantern, and you know, I just told you earlier I wouldn't do some handles, but I was seeing my branches on my table. So this was what for the berries, the red berries I used, and this one was for the Christmas branch I used. But both of them are white, and I thought maybe I can even make a handle from just branches you use. So I bend it a little bit to give it a little bit of a shape, just this way. And now I'm going to try with some ribbon, the green ribbon we used also on the bottom. I'm going to try to get if I can even make a handle from the leftovers you have from your branch. So we will see if this experiment will work out or not. So I have really no idea. Probably it's a bad idea. So we will see how this will turn out. What I'm going to do at the end, I leave a little piece over because I want to end it with some beads. So I'm going to start a little bit over here, and I'm going to place my ribbon sideways. So I'm going to do a little glue on top of here, and I'm going to lay down my ribbon. But like I said, I'm going to do it a little bit sideways so I can turn it sideways. And now I'm going to just roll it over and just going down and just down. You see, I'll show it to you in a moment. Maybe I can show it to you a little bit better. So this way, and just going down and down, just the way you're almost on the bottom. So I will do this. You see already I just rolled it over just the way you are on the bottom. And what I did with the tops, the little pieces on the tops I just bent, and I bent them inside, dus not to the outside, but just like you see on the inside. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a simple bead and I'm going to place it inside of here, just glue it. And this side we are going to glue on top of our lantern. I showed it to you in a moment. So first I'm going to glue this and this one with some beads. I glue them on the sides of our lantern, and I think, of course, I did it in the green ribbon. You can choose any color you like, but I choose the green one because it's matching with this one. And now you see, you even can use the wires from your stamps you normally throw away. You still can use them for some cheap handles. So I am really happy with it. I will do, of course, also the little one with the other one. So I will make this one also to a handle. The lanterns are ready, and you see already I did my tea lights already in the black color. But you see, these are the battery operated little string of lights, and you see the lights are fine, but this is really not a great sight to see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my schoolboard paint, and I'm going to paint also the little box which are your batteries are in. So you can easily let them inside of your lantern, and they don't fall they don't look so bad inside of your lantern. That's what I want to me. And if you want to have them on the back side of your lantern, if you give them a little bit of darker color, it won't pop out so much as you if you see the batteries. I don't know, my English is really bad, but I think you know already what I mean, that this color is a little bit nicer to see than you see the batteries inside. That's better English. I will color this and then we see the end. My glue gun is again also here. What we're going to do, we are going to do 6 blocks in a row. So we're just going to make a row of 6. Just glue them together, squeeze them real hard again, and again the next layer. Lay them as straight as you can against each other. And the next one, number 4. Of course, you see already my glue gun is already starting to smoke, so he's already totally in for it. I never know what that means when my glue gun is smoking, but it always goes okay, so I don't think it means nothing, but at least he is smoking. You see, this is already the 6th block we are going to make. I make again another one from 6 blocks in a row, because we need 2, and we are going to make the snowman's head straight. At least I show it to you in a moment. The side we are going to use as the underside of his head, we are going to do in a straight line. Of course, you also can do him a little bit off from straight, but I think I'm going to do it straight because I want to use him as a stand. I hope it makes sense what I say, but I show it to you in a moment and then it will make more sense. I think you call it the border of your snowman's head. I don't know. You see, now we have 2 of them. We are going to glue them together. Again, squeeze them real hard against each other so they will stick really good. And again, we already have our top of our snowman. We are going to remove the glue. Now I want to use 2 blocks for the top. You see already this way. So we glue this side and we are going to place it against each other. Again, squeeze real hard. And we need this one, and we are going to do from this one also the top. And we're going to place it against each other. Again, this is already the top of the head. What we're going to do right now is we're going to take again 6 blocks and we're going to do 2 against each other like this way, and again another 2 together like this way, and another piece 2 to each other. This way. Now we have 3 of them, and this 3 we are going to glue together. Of course, squeeze real hard, and the other side again, squeeze real hard. And now we already, I know if you call it a border, maybe leave me a comment down below how you call this way. Of course, now you see we are getting already the snowman's head, and you can do the snowman's head this way, a little bit sideways, but then you can use it as a stand. So, and I want to use him as a stand, so I'm going to glue him a little bit lower so I can use him this way, and I'm going to make on the back side a stand so he can stand up. So I'm going to glue the first line of our snowman's head this way. Of course, I need enough glue because I don't want that it's falling down, and we are going to place it on top of here and keep it in place for a little moment. And you see right now you have your very easy snowman's head. And of course you can do a loop on top of here, and you can use it as an ornament in your tree. A little bit bigger ornaments. It's always nice to have in your tree 3 focal points that you can have in your tree. So this will be a nice focal point. And of course we are going to make a picture for on top of here. Now our head is finished. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make my stand. I'm going to do 3 blocks on top of each other. So very easy. Just place them on top of each other, squeeze them. And again, the third one, a little glue. And the same way, glue it on top of each other, squeeze it real hard, and make sure that he is in one. And you see, this is a very easy block. Now we're going to turn our snowman's head around, and you see already we have a little opening over here. I'm going to glue it not on the underside, but I'll show it to you a little bit closer. So not lower like this, not in the same row with this one, but I'm going to do it a little bit higher, so he will stand up a little bit better because he's hanging over a little bit more. But I'll show it to you in a moment. So I will glue this on top of here. again, enough glue, because we don't want to fall, that it falls down. Of course, try to get it in the middle, this way. And you see, now he's glued here, and this is what I mean. I didn't do it totally on the underside. And if everything is correct, he will stand up real nice. You see already, our snowman's head is already standing. And of course, we even have to let it look a little bit more like a snowman's head. But the first one is finished. I will go to make the second one. Both our little snowman's heads are already finished, but of course I also want to have a little snowman's head, so I'm going to try to make also a little one. So I'm going to do 4 pieces of our blocks. So this will be just a try, because the other one also, but I am going to try to make a little one with it. So this is one, and the last, and 4. Now we are going to do again another set of 4, the same way like we did with the other one. The other one was 6 in a row, and this one is 4. And then normally you have to get your snowman's head a little smaller if you use 4 blocks instead of 6. So of course you understand totally what I mean. Just do some glue, of course, again on the top, squeeze them together, keep them in place for a little second, and then you already see you have the first top already for your head. Now we are not going to do 6 in a pieces for the underside, where we're going to use 4, again 2 against each other, this way, and again another 2. And this is so easy to do. So I am just an amateur like everyone else, except the really professionals. They are probably much quicker than I am. You see already, this is really an amateur at work. So, with all the mistakes I do. So I am going to glue this one. You see already, now you have again a little smaller head. I'm going to do again some glue on the bottom, and just let this one hang over a little bit this way. And of course now he's really easy to get in the middle, because you can just do the lines on top of each other and just squeeze it. And you see, I showed you also the back side. This is the back side and this is the front. So you let it lean over for a little bit. I say a lot of little bit, sorry. Now we're going to make the stand, and that is very easy, just 3 pieces in a row. And I think we are going to leave the 3 pieces and not do 2. Again, the last one, and we're going to place it again against each other. Remove the glue, and we're going to glue this on top. And I have to see, yes, this is standing up right. So I'm going to glue this one on the back side, again this way. And now he is standing up, but you see already he is not totally standing up right, so I have to fix that a little bit now. You see already both of our heads are finished, but these are a little bit of the bigger heads, and of course I also want to have a smaller one, so I'm going to show you also the smaller one, and that's also very easy. It is just make a row of 4. Just glue them again against each other this way, and number 3, and I'm going to try to fast as I can because I understand that your time is precious. So this is 1 of 4. I'm going to go again, do 1 of 4 rows again, just this way. Glue the 3rd one again, and the 4th, and we already have another row of 4. We are going to glue the sides again, whoop, and squeeze them real hard against each other like this, so you get 2 on top of each other with 4 blocks. Normally we would use 6 for the underside, but we are going to use 4. I already have 1 of 2. Now we are going again another 1 of 2 and place them straight to each other and glue the side and squeeze them real hard against each other. But what we're going to do, because we also need a little space for the stand, we can't place it a little bit a little bit lower, so we have to look. So we are going to do some glue over here, and of course I need a new glue stick, because always when I try to do it as fast as I can for everyone, my glue is done. And I'm going to place it, like I said, a little bit higher than this, because or else we don't have room for our stand on the back side. So you see, and remove the glue we don't need. You see already, now we already have our head, and you see still I have some glue over here. And we are going to make the stand the same way, just 3 blocks high. It's very easy. Again, against each other. The 3rd one against each other. And I have to wait for a little second until it's dried up. We are going to glue this one again, and we are going to place it on the back side, but I show it to you in a moment, a little bit higher again, that you have a little opening over here. So, and now we are going to see if he can stand, and you see he can stand on his own, and I'm so happy. He is now a bigger one and a smaller one. Now we are almost ready to paint our heads, and I don't know if I paint it or I have to do some furniture wax. I have to think about it, but I think I will paint it. I am really sorry, I was already painting and I thought I did my camera on, but I didn't. So sorry. I chose to do a little set in the white distressing, and this one you see already I have made a little one, and of course I'm going to do this set in the black distressing. You see already one is already in the black distressing, and later on I will finish it up with some furniture wax. So it is very easy. You just take a little bit of your black scoreboard paint. I always use a very cheap brand, and I'm just going to do some pieces of the head with the black, not everything but some pieces. But of course, if you like it a little bit better just to paint it totally in the black color or totally in the white color, it is also fine too. Maybe even the darker green. I don't know, just what you prefer. But I'm going to show you in a moment how both sets are looking like. Both of the snowman heads are finished, and I just give them a little bit of distressing. Like you see, of course, it looks horrible right now if you see it this way. But believe me, at the end, it will look okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my very simple furniture wax, and you can use any stain you like. I'm going to use some simple furniture wax because it's very cheap to use. I'm going to dab, of course, in my furniture wax again, and I'm going to dab it up with some kitchen towel again. Just remove the most of your furniture wax, so you don't get too much on top of your snowman's head, because that's not the way you want to have it. And I'm just going to go around the sides, just this way. Just make nice little sides so it looks a very old head from the snowman. Of course, the underside, and we don't forget the back side, because we are going to do this one in the furniture wax also, because I always like a good finish. So also the back side we cannot forget. So but first we're going to do the front again, give it some furniture looking. You see, this is already giving a little bit more of an old feeling. So I'm going totally around and little pieces in the middle, just this way, on the places you didn't put your paint. So I will do both of them. Both sets are already dried up of our snowman's head. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do on the other side, I am going to give it some ribbon. I chose for the dark green and the dark red because I like the traditional colors. But of course, you are so free to do whatever you think is right and fitting for your decor. But I am going to use the traditional colors. So I'm going to measure out how much I need. I'm just going to place this one aside for a little moment, and I'm going to do this one together with you because it is so easy to do. I'm just going to get my glue gun and just do some glue on the back side. I'm just in the middle. I'm just do some little bit of glue, lay down our piece of ribbon this way and just against the side, and a little bit higher than the sides, of course, because or else we wouldn't come through. We need to get, you see, this is what I mean. And I'm going to work around it, and again just cut it off and glue it together, because of course I want the back side also to look nice. Dot of glue and then place it against each other, so you have also on the back side a nice side. But this is how he's turning out. I will do all three of the snowman's head, and then we're going to give it some greenery. I placed you for a little moment this way because maybe you can see it a little bit better right now. I'm going to do some greenery on top of here on the side, but I'm not going to do a lot of greenery because I don't like too much greenery. So I'm just going to use two of the little smaller pieces of greenery, Christmas greenery, and then with some red berry. But of course you can go all the way if you want to have the whole head with some greenery. It's also very nice, and some berries in between. But I'm going to do just a couple of greenery and just doing the tips only. So I'm going to place this one beside here and keep it in place for a little moment. Another smaller one, because I am going to use the smaller one, not the bigger one. I was figuring out how I want to have it. So then this way glued a little bit over each other, so we get a nice angle to work with our berries. And this is dried up, and now I'm going to take a little piece of a red berry. I'm always using pieces of old branches. You see already this is an old branch. I ripped it apart, and I'm always using everything I already have in my stash. I am laying it down, do some glue on the underside, this way. Be careful, don't burn yourself, and just place it in between the greenery and just squeeze it real hard until it's dried up. And of course it takes a couple of seconds to dry up, maybe a little bit more even when you're using your glue gun. And you see, this is how he's looking like right now. I'm going to do all of them, and then we are going to make a picture for on top of here, and I'm going to take it to my computer and we are going to make it together. And of course you can find the picture you can use in the free printables you always find on our main channel Decoeasy. So go ahead over there you find the link for your free printables. You see already the print we just made, and I'm really loving how both of them turned out. Of course I will cut them out and I will Mod Podge them on top of here. I will use my very simple Mod Podge, but you can also use school board glue. So, but I am going to use this one. So I will cut it out. If you want to see more and want to use them, like I said earlier, just go ahead and go over to our main channel. And every video we make, there you have also the link for your free printables. And later on in the season, I will open my own Etsy shop with lots of beautiful, unique signs for in your decor. So if this is something for you, stay tuned. See already, I did cut out all my little pictures, and I'm going to give them one coat of Mod Podge. And I will do the whole picture at once and just get them off. And now I'm going to get my head and I'm going to glue it on top of here. And I have to work a little bit with my, you see, and I don't want to have the Mod Podge on top of my picture because I don't like the shiny color, so that's why I don't do a second coat on top of here. I just leave it in the matte finish. Of course my Mod Podge is matte, but even when you have the matte Mod Podge, it still gives a little glow, and I like it a little bit better without the glow. So this is how our head already turns out. Of course I know you see the words backwards, but of course later on you will see the right way. I will do the rest of our snowman's head. For this Christmas DIY, and of course you see already my tumbling tile blocks because we are going to do a challenge. Like I said, I'm going to do a challenge between two rolling pins. This two I drifted for €1. Is similar like a dollar. So I'm going to pin this up and make a nice Christmas rolling pin out of it. And I'm going to try it versus the tumbling tower blocks. I'm going to try to make also two rolling pins, but of course they will be different and it will be with a twist, of course my own twist. So we will see how both of them turned out, and then you can leave a comment down below if you like the drifted rolling pins or you are going to try the tumbling tower rolling pins. So we will see if I succeed or not. You see already I removed the price tags because we can't work with a price tag, and you can, of course you can paint over it, but that doesn't give always a nice view. So I removed the price tag. What I'm going to do one in the white chalk paint and one in the red chalk paint, and I do the handles. Whoa, I will do the handles in the black color. So I use the simple and the cheap chalk paint. Of course I always try if he covers in one, but the most of the time he does. But of course if you have like a little bit more of a rustic feeling, maybe you also can do it in some furniture wax. So go ahead, do whatever you think is right. I will do the first one in the white chalk paint. So I will paint this, but I will do it out of camera because or else you will be very bored. So if I'm finished, you will see the next step. You see already the middle parts are dried up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my black schoolboard paint and I'm going to paint the handles in the black color. So you will see that when it's finished, you will see the next step. Both of our drifted rolling pins are ready to decorate. And of course, in a moment, like I said, we are going to my computer and we are going to make our own prints for on top of here. But of course, we also need the print for our tumbling tower blocks rolling pin. So I will lay these two apart and then we're going to try to make also two rolling pins from tumbling tower blocks. So for our tumbling tower blocks rolling pin, I'm going to use first 4 blocks of 2. So just make 2 little and this way and squeeze it together. This one, this is 2. This will be in number 3. And of course, this is also a challenge for me because I never made a rolling pin from tumbling tower blocks, and I looked for them on Pinterest, but I couldn't find any of them. So there's no one as crazy as I am is looking for a rolling pin from tumbling tower blocks. So, and I'm going to make a square like we did in a previous DIY. And you see, I'm just gluing one side to the other one. You have to get it in the right shape. Of course, we are going to do one over here. I show it to you in a moment a little bit better. And again, one over here. And now we need one over here and one over here. And now you can see, now we can stick them together like a nice square. You see, this is what I mean. And now you have 4 sides of 2 and just make a little square out of it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make 3 from this kind of blocks and then we are going to glue it together. see we have all 3 of them finished. What we're going to do, we're going to lay them down in the same direction, of course. And now we are going to glue them together so we get a nice little bit of a longer piece, a little bit similar like the middle of your rolling pin, at least if you have a lot of imagination. We will see if my imagination is correct, or maybe this will be one big. And of course I'm going to squeeze it real hard and remove the glue immediately because we don't want to have the glue on our paint. And we are going to do some glue on this side, and we are going to glue it together. And again, squeeze real hard because that makes a lot of your work easier. And you see, now we already have one middle piece of our rolling pin. And what I'm going to do right now, of course we have now an opening on this side and on this side, and of course we need some ending over here for the rolling pin. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make 4 little pieces for inside of here, and then we are going to do some tumbling tower blocks in half because this one is much too long. So I'm going to do the half and then I'm going to glue it together. See, for the end pieces I just use an old piece of cardboard from my dishwasher, from my tablets of my dishwasher. And of course I always keep my cardboard because you never know when you're going to need it. I draw it out with some pencil, the little square, and now I'm going to glue it on top of here. So you see, this is just a piece of cardboard and I'm just going to glue it on top of here. And make sure that you do enough of your glue because you don't want to your handles fall off. That's not what you want for your rolling pin. And of course try to get it in the middle and keep it in place for a little moment. And you see, this is our end piece of our square rolling pin. So we are going to do the other side, and of course again just do some glue and do enough on here. I always love a little bit more glue than I need to because I always want to make sure that it will stick in place. And again, make sure that you have it on the place you want it to have. And see, again, now we have both of the ends. We are at least we have our middle of our rolling pin. I was thinking to do a half piece of my tumbling tower block, but I am going to use, I think, 2 together because I think or else it will be a little bit too small. So I'm going to try out, just place 2 of them together and just squeeze them and make sure that they are in the same length. So this, just 2 together, and we are going to glue this on top of here. And I don't know if I think he's a little bit too long or not. I have to think about it, so I will be right back in a moment. I made up my mind. I am going for the longer pieces, but of course you can do the shorter ones because here I have, of course, the half of a tumbling tower block, and you can also glue 2 of them together, and it looks a little bit like this. I hope you can see it, but I think he is too short, so I'm going for the longer one. So this way, and of course you have to imagine that this one will be red or white and this one will be black, so it will look very different if we decorate it. So I keep positive. So I am going to glue this on top of our middle of our rolling pin, and of course we have to be sure that it is in the middle. I have to turn it around, and of course I have to stick it in place and make sure that I'm in the right place in the middle. You see already we have one side of our rolling pin. It even looks already a little bit like rolling pin. So I'm gonna do also the other side. You see already one rolling pin is done, and I think even when it is in a square, I even still like it. So of course we are going to paint it, but now I'm going to make the other rolling pin, and I'm going to make it from 3 on top of each other, so this way, and 3 on this top. You see, this I will glue together. I show it to you this way, and I make 3 or 4 pieces from this one, so it will be a little bit smaller and a longer one. So I will do a couple of them together with you because it is very easy. You just lay 3 of them together just on top of each other and remove the glue you don't need, and we are going to do the other one. And also now you already have 1 of 3, and just squeeze them real hard together this way, so you have nice a package of 3, and we need 8 of them. You see already we have 8 packets of 3. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue again every time 2 on top of each other, and just this way make sure that you get them straight. And then we have packets of 6. Of course we are doing this one, and again glue them together, and we are going to do this one, and again squeeze real hard because you want to get them close to each other. And again, and now we have 4 packets of 6, and also this one we are going to glue together. Just make nice little squares, and we are going to glue them this way, and we're going to do a little bit on top of here, and we're going to glue this one also together. And the last one, and the last, and squeeze real hard. And now we have a package of 4 of them from 6 of them together. So now we have the middle piece of our rolling pin. Now we only need 1 piece of our tumbling tile blocks, and we are going to glue this on top of here, and we are going to do on the other side the same. And you see already our 4 rolling pins on top of my table. You see the 2 drifted ones, the dark red and the white. And now I'm going to paint also this one in the white and the black, the red and the black, so we will see. And then we're going to give them both a picture so we can compare to each other which one is a better rolling pin. Even the drifted ones are very pretty, but I also hope that this too also will be very pretty. And here you see already all 4 of them finished with painting. And of course I am really loving already our tumbling tile blocks also, because I know the shape is a little bit different, but I think they looks very like a rolling pin. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take you along to my computer, and we are going to make our own unique print for on top of here, and then we really can see how all of them turned out. See already our prints are already printed out, and what we are going to do, I'm going to cut them out, and we are going to Mod Podge them on top of our rolling pins. Here you see already I have 1 rolling pin ready. I have my print over here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my simple Mod Podge, and I'm going to Mod Podge one side already in with some Mod Podge on top of it. So just do it this way. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay it in the middle and try to get it as even as you can. Just squeeze a little bit and try to get it as, like I said, as straight as you can. And of course, go over it and make a nice turn, because you have to go around the corner. So I'm going to bend it over and do again some Mod Podge over here. And I'm going to take the whole rolling pin, because I don't exactly, then I have to measure it out completely, but I'm just going to do it eyeballing it. So I'm going to go over it and go and fold it, and again make a little line for the side, and again turn it over, do some Mod Podge again, and we are going to fold it over again. Of course, we have to go to the lines. And we're going to do the last side. But you see already how he's looking, and I am really loving the size of it. So now I'm going to take it in my hands, because or else I will glue everything together. So I'm doing it this way. Just, of course, you just don't see because it's behind the paper, and just going a little bit over here. And we are going to fold it again, and we are going to try to get it in the middle. But I see already I'm not completely over this side, so I really have to squeeze it a little bit to go that way. And of course you see already this is how he's looking like, and I know you see the letters backwards, but don't worry, in a moment you see the right way. You see already the print is on our rolling pins, and I am really loving the coloring together. Of course, if you want a print, you can find it in our free printables you will find on our decoeasy channel. So go ahead, go to over there and click on one of the videos, and there you find the link for our free printables. If you don't can print it out, just send us an email and we will send the picture to you. So, but for now we are going to get some twine, and we are going to make a little simple bow for on top of our rolling pin. I'm just keeping it simple. I'm just going to do one little bow. You see already the bow is on top of our little rolling pins, and what I'm going to do right now is only to show you the result, and then you can see if I did a great job or not, and then you can choose which one you like more, the Tumbling Tower Blocks rolling pins, or you like more the drifted ones. So I'm really curious what. Christmas DIY, we are going to make some snowmen, and I mean easy snowmen, and we are going to make them of course from tumbling tower blocks, and here we call them stacking game blocks, but of course you can buy them at Dollar Tree and Dollarama, or here in the Netherlands you can buy them at the Action. Of course, we are going to make them a little bit different. I always give a little bit my own twist on it, but I hope you are curious and come along in this DIY together with me. I have my blocks ready for the DIY. For each snowman, we need 14 tumbling tower blocks. But you see already this one is a little bit smaller than from the Dollar Tree. So if you have the bigger ones, your snowman also will be a little bit bigger. So choose if you do a row less or a row more to make it bigger or smaller. So I'm going to start with making 4 Jenga blocks or tumbling tower blocks together this way. So I'm going to I'm going to do it step by step. So if you think it's taking a little bit too long, then skip forward. And I'm going to do this one. So we make a block from 4 and just squeeze them real hard so you get a nice yeah, I don't know how you call it in English, a nice block. I can show it to you in a moment. So you see, this is the first one. We are going to make 3 of them, so we use 12 tower blocks already. So I'm going to do this one also. I always love making snowmen. I think a snowman is part of the Christmas season and also of the winter season, of course. Not only the Christmas season, but also from the winter season. We also love the winter season. And this is block number 4. So you see already, we have already 2 of them. Now the last one, and again we glue this one together. And you see already my glue gun is already smoking a lot, so we will see how this will turn out if he keeps on smoking, but I hope everything goes okay, so we will see. But the last block for making our base of our snowman, so you see now we have 3 or 4 blocks. What we're going to do, we are going to glue them together. Just do a lot of glue inside of it. And of course I use my glue gun, but of course you can use E6000 or just second glue, just what you have laying around. But most of the time I use my glue gun. And we are going to glue the last one together. So we get a nice base of our snowman. And you see already, now it's a square. It's not a square. I don't know how you call it. If this one would be a square, but with this one it is, I don't know. We are going to make 2 of the blocks, this one, and we are going to glue them together this way. And remove the glue you don't need. So, and now we are going to, I show it to you this way. And now we are going to glue it over the line. I don't like this line, so I'm going to try to keep gluing this one. And you see already now it's already starting to look like a simple snowman. So I'm going to glue it not totally over the whole side, but a little bit in the middle. You see, I do the glue in the middle. And now I'm going to try to get it over the lines, because I'm trying not to see the lines. And I have to keep it in place for a little moment. And you see, we already have our first snowman. I'm going to make another one, and then we are going to do the next step. Turn over my placemat, and of course we are going to paint our 2 cute snowmen. I'm going to do the underside in the white chalk paint. Of course it is a snowman, so it has to be white, but normally I'm not really a person who is going for what everyone else has, but I always try to make it a little bit more unique. But you see already, a snowman has to be white. So I'm going to do this in the white color, and we are going to do this in the black schoolboard paint, but I'll show you that in a moment. The 2 little snowmen, the white is dried up. What we're going to do, I'm going to take the blackboard school board paint. And of course, I know you see the words backwards, but that's just my telephone. But I use the matte blackboard finish. So I'm just going to do the black on top of the head. So just, but be careful that you don't do it on the white of your snowman. Of course, what I could have done was a little bit smarter, just to place and glue this to later on, just paint it black and then glue it on top of your snowman. That would be better, but I already glued it, so I can't get it off. So if you're just a little bit smarter than me, just first paint it and then glue it on top of your snowman. So I will paint it in the black color, and then we are going to do our next time while our little snowmans are drying. I was thinking I would love to make, first I thought I'd make an ornament out of it, but I thought maybe it's also fun to make a little stand for them. So I'm going to glue 4 of the Jenga blocks together. And of course I will do two ways. So I make 4 of them, and this will be the stand for our little sign. So we make a snowman sign. So I think I like it a little bit better, but if you want to have an ornament, you can also do, of course, a little piece of the rope on the back side and just make an ornament out of it. But I think I like to have a stand so I can use him in my tier tray, because I love always decorate a snowman in my tier tray. So you see, just make 2 of each other, just glue this to each other, and you have already your own stand for your sign. And remove the glue you don't need. So you see, you have already your stand. I will make another one, and then later on we glue this on top of our snowman. And of course, let's not forget, I would almost totally forget, let's paint this on also in the white chalk paint, so he is fitting to your snowman. So I will finish off the stands, and then we'll go further to decorate our snowman. Both of them are ready for gluing under our little snowman. And you see here already, this is our snowman, and if you glue this together, you get a nice little cute stand. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take you along to my computer, and I show you how we make our own unique little sign for on top of here. So we get a nice stand for, you can use it in your tier tray, just in your regular decor, just what you want. Of course, it is for the Christmas season, but you know we are Christmas all year around. So come along to my computer. Signs we made, and of course I made a couple of them more, but you will find the 2 little signs in our free printables. So go ahead, if you want to use them, you can find them there. I'm going to cut them out, both of them, and then we're going to Mod Podge it on top of our snowman. And I know, like I said earlier, I know the words are backwards. That's just my cut them out, and you see already they look so nice on our little snowman. It's a little bit different than the normal snowman, but I am really loving it. So I'm going to Mod Podge this on top of here. You see, I always use this Mod Podge, but a lot of you use school glue. So whatever you use as your Mod Podge, everything is fine. I always use this one because I like this one, and I am not a great Mod Podger, so I always stick to what I know, but because sometimes I'm always very happy when it doesn't wrinkle. So I'm sticking to this one, but if you have a better one, just go ahead. I try to get it a little bit in the middle. So I show you now. And I think he looks very cute. I will do the next one, and then we're going to decorate our day. I took a couple of my old branches from the Christmas season. So I always keep everything I use, because most of the time you can use it over and over again for another decor. This one was from a bigger branch, and I always, like I said, I always take branches apart and use them separately. what I'm going to do first, because I'm going to do a little velvet ribbon. I always buy this kind of ribbon on AliExpress, so they are very cheap. So I'm going to make a line around the head on top of here, and I'm only going to do it on the side and on this side, so you get a nice finish. So I'm going to cut out a little straight, so you see this one, and I'm going to do a little bit of my glue on here, just a little dot, and I'm going to glue our ribbon just exactly on the end of our head, and I'm going to take it over to the other side. I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to glue this one also. I hope I show it to you on camera, but of course I think you already know how to glue your little ribbon on top of here. So I have to make sure that it stays in place. You see already, this is how the head is turning out. I'm going to do the next one also around the snowman's head. I'm going to take my little pieces of branches, and of course you see already, if I would use this one is much too big, so I'm going to cut it smaller, at least the half, and from the little one I also keep a little top only. So you see, now I got two little pieces of our greenery, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a little bit of glue on the underside of our branch, and I'm just going to do the smaller one sideways on top of each other and just squeeze it until it is dried up, so we get a nice little bundle. And of course you can do I am doing 2 pieces, but you can also do 3. So, and I'm going to glue this on top of here. Just do some glue on the back side and just glue it against the head a little bit this way. I show you in a moment. I think I am very close. I did my telephone a little bit too close on my work. I see, you see, but you can say that you can't see it because you are so close. You see here, and I'm going to do now to finish it off. I'm going to do some red berries. I'm going to cut off a lighter one and a darker one, or else maybe I only do the lighter one. I think that's a little bit nicer to see. So I'm going to do some glue. Be careful that you don't burn yourself, because my fingers don't feel anything, but I think yours will. This one and another one. Also glue the underside of your berry, and again, and just place it next to the other one and squeeze it a moment and remove the wires of the glue. And you see already, this is our little snowman. I will do the next one too, and then we're going to place them on our finished. What I'm going to do, like I said, we are going to do some glue on the underside of our snowman, and we are going to glue it on our little stand. I do it to you this way so you can see it, but this is very easy to do. Just make sure that you remove the glue you don't need. And you see, this is our little snowman stand. In a moment you see the finished result.